test the microphones. Hi, Wednesday. Today is Transitions Day. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, happy, happy, happy.
I left my phone downstairs, so
That's
I don't
good.
know if we're on live on Facebook.
Yeah.
So we're gonna flow with it as if we are live on
Well, right
Facebook.
there it says live.
Yeah, it does.
Let's see if anybody. Are we on Facebook
Oh,
or
I just got
stream?
the notification on my watch. Yeah.
Are we
So
on Facebook or stream?
well, StreamYard. We're on StreamYard, and StreamYard streams to
Okay.
Facebook.
I like StreamYard.
So it is so unfortunate that the camera, this is a StreamYard. I told you it makes it look like we're back in the days. It's making your top look gray, and it's really green. Do you see that? The
It's,
people can't see
it's
that
probably
you.
green, but to them, just because it's green, looks great right here. It might be green to them. Depends on what kind of TV they have. You got this TV on sale, then
No, but this is a new TV.
I don't know.
It's okay. Anyway, hey y'all, you're tuned in to Transitions, Life Lessons, and Legacy with Hyacinth Henderson and Robert Henderson Jr. And we tune in every Wednesday. We talk. We just talk, chit chat. We talk about different things to expand your mind, open your mind, awaken your mind. And it is our sincere hope that you listen, you connect, and you take action. So before we get into today's topic, which is exploring the subconscious mind,
Yes.
we're going to do a quick introduction.
Okay, I'm Robert Henderson Jr. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm a certified tax coach. I've been in the financial services business for over 30 years. I'm also a real estate broker. I'm also an insurance broker. I'm also a stockbroker. And our offices are located in beautiful Miami Lakes, Florida. And we've been in business for probably like over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been licensed like 37 years.
I was thinking, as you said, over 30 years. I said, "Gosh, I've heard that a lot. When is it going to be 40?"
Yeah,
So like it's almost 40.
probably.
Oh my goodness, because I'm 40, and you
Yeah,
started
you
right
are.
after me. You realized you needed some money,
Nigga, you look like you wanted.
right?
Like you
You're
want,
like, oh Lord,
yeah, you look like I got.
let me figure this out.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
and your
40
brother.
now.
So I said, oh, I gotta get some money.
Yes.
So
All right, and so I am Hyacinth Henderson. I've been with the firm for 20 years, 20 plus years, and I am a registered investment advisor representative. I am a licensed stockbroker and also an annuity and insurance broker. Those are titles that I hold. And why are you looking at me like that?
So I was just thinking about all those titles and licenses that we have. It's like we in basically prison regulators.
Right.
They just, you got to take a test. I got to take another test today. I already took 4 in the last month.
I know. I need to
All
take
kind of
mine
people don't
too.
understand how much, in the back, the, you know, it's a lot of regulate,
It's
a
a
lot of
lot that
stuff.
goes on. It's
A lot.
it's interesting that you say that because as I see people pop up and they're like, "Oh, I could do it. I could do it." I'm like, you just get in this. You might stop not want to pretend with these people and their money.
That's right. I mean, because it's show and then there's biz. A lot of people
Yeah.
like the show part.
Yes.
All of us are in show business, believe it or not. Even if you sit home, if you just don't have a job, you still in show business because what people see is you, but that's not the truth because you probably hiding something or something's going on internally. That's the business part.
You know what that leads us right into today's topic, the subconscious mind.
Yes.
What goes on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Right. And so when you called and you said, "Hey, let's talk about," I said, "Didn't we just talk about that?" And you said no.
No.
And I feel like that because I'm always
We are
thinking about it,
always
studying. We are always
in our
studying.
office.
We're
We're
already
always talking about
exploring. It's a part of our everyday language. I feel like the mic is covering my lipstick. Hold on. It's a part of our everyday lipstick and stuff like that. So we're gonna bring
everyday
this.
lipstick. It's not a part of our everyday lipstick. It's your lipstick. It's a part of our everyday existence that we're conscious of on not only our outer but our inner and what are we thinking and trying to guard and take care of our minds.
So I thank you so much for being there, just coming in right there and
You just yapping, yapping part of our lipstick. That's what you said today, right?
I didn't know that until you pointed it out.
I'm still daddy. I gotta look after my daughter.
I know.
daughter.
The tides are going to be changing soon.
I don't. What do you mean by that?
First, you take care of me, then I take care of you.
Oh yeah, I would like to be taken care of, especially when I'm 120 years old. I would love somebody to come and wipe my nose.
That's not what you're.
Wipe my nose right here.
I'm gonna hire somebody for that.
It's like a baby again.
Right.
You really don't. I don't care how rich you are.
Mhm.
I don't care if you're a billionaire and trillionaire. You will never be as freer than when you're like 1 year old,
Yeah.
and especially if before potty training, and you can just let it rip, and somebody's gonna take care of you.
Yes.
That is one state of being.
When people talk to me about babies and stuff, and they're not walking yet and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't blame you. I want somebody to carry me around, so I don't blame them because they probably know once they start walking, that's it. They got to walk for the next 100 years.
No, and once you get 2 years old, you
Right.
get punished or yelled at if you don't. Your pee is, and you're spoiling your clothes.
Right.
But before, when you're like 1 year old, you just let it rip. You eat. You go to sleep when you want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No responsibility. Before the next 80 years or whatever. Oh, why did you do that? Yeah, you pee in your pants. Why did you do that? Wash your face, comb your hair. That's a whole lot of responsibility.
I know.
So you'll never be as completely as free as you once was. When you age. When you was an infant.
Right.
Yeah. And the longer you live, the more money you need. You know that?
Oh, I know. I see it.
Yeah. A lot of people want to live longer, but I don't know why you're trying to live a long time if you ain't got no money.
Yeah, and it's astonishing because they're spending it all.
Like there's no tomorrow.
Spending it.
And then they want to retire and have no money and spend more.
Yeah. It's interesting. It really is. That's why a lot of the work that we do deals with the mind. It deals with mental mindset, habits, trauma, all that stuff, because you're absolutely correct. People have this date. They want to retire at this age. They want to retire at this time. I'm not working anymore when I'm 66, when I'm 70. Nowadays, people are like, when I'm 50, I'm not working anymore.
They're like, I don't want to do nothing.
And we talk and we're like, what's the plan? Well, you're spending all your money. So what exactly is going to happen?
How you going to eat?
How's it going to happen? Right?
Rent's going up.
Everything is going up.
Yeah.
But that's just life. Life is that way.
So that's why we deal with the mind, because before things can really take place, they take place in your thoughts, in your mind,
first and foremost.
That's where everything takes place, right?
Yeah.
And most people are not conscious of it. They just want it.
Mm-hmm. People think it's backwards. They think that the action comes first, and then the thoughts come. Oh, if I do this, then that'll happen. No, baby, you got to think it first.
Or the results.
You got to think it. Everything starts in your mind. So that leads us right into exploring the subconscious mind.
Yes.
Exploring the subconscious mind. What is the subconscious mind? What is the conscious mind? You may have heard us speak before about the two minds, and we talk a lot about mindset. But today we want to really dedicate today's show to really exploring, like taking a peek behind the curtain, saying, I want to understand what this subconscious mind thing is, because as far as I know, right, you may be saying this, as far as I know, it's just my mind, right? No one ever explained it to me that I had a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. They didn't tell me there were levels to this.
Yes.
Right? We often hear that. And so this episode really has the ability, because it depends on you, to really shift your entire perspective and shift your trajectory if you really tune in and pick up what we're putting down.
Yeah, because if I was king,
you're still on there? Okay.
Yes. If I was king, that would be one of the classes that every human being would have to be required to take.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to understand the powers and how to use your subconscious mind. That would be a requirement. There's no bachelor's degree, no AA, no nothing until you learn who you are and yourself and how your mind works. Really, that alone would, I said one of the classes I said last week would be repetition, right?
Mm-hmm.
The power of repetition, repeating over and over and over. So one of the classes, I guess me being king, boy, I require a lot of mental work.
Mm-hmm.
Now the subconscious mind, I want some of you all to get a visual. We're going to try to paint a picture of this. Imagine, which is whether you imagine or not, it's in you. Now, if you don't know who you are, what's inside of you, then you're probably not living a prosperous, joyful, healthy, happy life.
Well,
probably not.
Not as much as you can be, because some people are experiencing a level of prosperity and joy and happiness. However, not at the maximum.
I said you're probably not living.
Okay, but people might be like, you know what? I don't know about this, and I'm prosperous.
No. I'm just saying there's always more.
Right, that's the point. The most prosperous.
So I gave myself an out by saying you're probably not at the zenith of your life. Like that word, zenith?
I guess it sounds like a whole lot of letters put together. Letters.
Zenith. That's like the top, the peak. The epic. So imagine which we all have, the subconscious mind. Now, how it works is the subconscious mind, and then you have the conscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is what we all look out and we see.
Mm-hmm.
We're in control. We see that. We say where we're going to go. The seeing eye. It's the emotions. It says what we want to do. I like her. I want to go here. I want to go to sleep. It's like the captain of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really do the work. As a matter of fact, I once read that the conscious mind is the male and the subconscious mind is the female that does the work. It's like me. I have your mother, Natalie, is a homemaker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working and I'm doing everything. She's taking care of the house. I come home and say, "Hey, I know what you like to eat, so and so." Okay, and if I say, "Hey, Natalie, I need you to go by the dry cleaners or whatever," and she makes things happen. And a lot of times, and they say, "Hey, behind on the side of a good, successful man is always a strong woman." Because if my wife was a total idiot and really just ran me crazy, my mindset wouldn't be geared, and I wouldn't be happy to do what I do. But if the female part of me, which has a lot of power, like every country in the world is a female, females have extraordinary power. And even think about this whole Adam and Eve story, how Eve just said, "Hey, sucker, eat that apple." You know what I mean? Or even Samson and Goliath, Samson, big, strong, He-Man, man. And she said, "Tell me how you get your powers." And he said, "No." And she says, "Oh, I'm going to get that sucker." And as soon as he did, and all of a sudden, bam, he gave in to her because the subconscious mind does all the work. So the subconscious mind just takes orders from the conscious mind. So that's why you really have to be careful on what you say, what you do, because the subconscious mind is always hearing, and it's like your genie, like that whole Aladdin story. Really, that Disney story really deals with the conscious and the subconscious mind, because the genie says, "Whatever you want, I'm going to make it come to fruition." Does that make sense? So I gave you a lot to think about, right around Adam and Eve, right around the power of a woman, right to the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is just like, "Okay, I'm ready to serve you." So that's why you got to really, really be careful. Most people don't know when they say, "I'm broke." Subconscious mind say, "Okay, make sure he's broke." Because he said, "I'm broke. I have no money." Subconscious mind say, "Okay, master, he just said, y'all heard that? So let's shape the universe. Let's put the path, make everything where he's going to be or she's going to be broke." Yeah, that's why you have to be really careful how you communicate and what you say, and your words are powerful, because not only do other people hear you outside, guess who hears you where it counts? The subconscious mind.
I like that.
And I see you making all these faces, and you sitting there, so you're doing all that. I mean, did y'all hear me? She just sounded like. So give me.
I was trying not to cut you off.
Okay,
this is what I get for not cutting you off.
Yeah, because you.
I want you to know this is on the internet forever.
Oh, okay, daughter.
So people can see you, and they're gonna run the replay
forever.
Somebody, even if I take it down, somebody on screen recorded it. And
I remember. Not forever.
All right.
Okay, so did you like the explanation of the conscious mind, especially that female? You ought to like that power to the female. You ought to like that.
It was a lot.
A lot to understand, to take in, or what? Hey, Baba Pearson, I know you dig it.
This is why I was quiet before.
Anna, can y'all put a 1 in there if y'all say y'all understood what I was saying? Because this is my daughter, and she feels.
I didn't even say. I don't say how I feel.
Okay,
I didn't get an opportunity to speak yet.
Okay, all right.
I have on my, what do you call this?
Goldilocks, Robin,
and I'm practicing my rich auntie vibes. So you want me to be acting up? Okay, no. So you did explain it. It was a lot. You painted a lot of visuals, and the reason why I was sitting over here, because my mind was kind of going all over the place. And one of the things, you're supposed to be paying attention.
Okay,
on your phone. This is inappropriate. It's not right.
Urban. I don't know. I thought you knew. Maybe I thought you knew who was on Facebook. You texting me. Okay, go ahead.
Are we live right now? Yeah. What is going on? Okay, so as I was stating, one of the visuals that that came to mind as you were speaking. And you said, you know, whatever you tell the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, then it's going to do. I saw, did you say that?
Yeah, but I should now that you point that out,
I don't think you said that.
I did. It
Oh.
will spawn, but it has to be repetitiously.
No, it's not your turn. I'm
No,
gonna
no,
say
no.
that.
It can't say at
I,
one time. It has
but
to be.
that's that you still in
Well,
my.
well,
That's what I'm about to say.
okay.
So I was going to say, I am going to say that when you said that, that it's not a one hitter quitter,
Right.
right? Because the subconscious mind, I want you to get this visual of a robot, right? So I know nowadays we hear a lot about robots and we know that AI and robots are taking over and blah, 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 whatever the thing is. But back in the day, I was born in 1981. Back in the day, when you had a robot or you saw a robot, it was programmed, you were fascinated by it. So I want you to imagine your subconscious mind being a robot and someone gives it a command, and that command is, I am rich. In this case, let's just go with I am rich. I am rich. So picture the little robot, the little gray robot running on rovers, rolling around, and it just takes off going, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. And you walk in and you're like, oh my gosh, robot, what's your name? I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. Oh my God, robot, how are you rich? I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. So when you hear that your subconscious mind will do what you tell it to do, I want you to picture a little robot and saying, oh my gosh, my subconscious mind is like that little robot. And whatever I tell it, it's going to continuously do that and repeat it over and over again. And then it starts to form a habit. See, your habits come from your subconscious mind. What you consciously state, your subconscious mind takes that like a robot and it runs off with it. And then it's just like, okay, this is what we were told. This is what we were told. You told me I'm rich, I'm rich. And so what a lot of people do is they say, I'm broke. I was told I was broke. I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm broke. And you're like, no, I just said I'm broke. But you said it and I took it as a subconscious mind and I ran with it. And so what happens is
You keep saying them.
you right, the subconscious mind will start to believe that, and so lead you into situations that will affirm what you have stated
and make you broke even if you're not.
And so now you're in this cycle, this hamster wheel of I am broke, I am broke. I went over here, I tried to use my card, it was declined. I went over here, I didn't get a new opportunity. I am broke, I am broke, I am broke. So when you think of your subconscious mind, I want you to think about your subconscious mind being the unseen. It is not, it is it's the, oh, you said that and you thought nobody was listening. And it's the, I'll never forget. That's what that is. So,
or in other words, they call it a tape recorder also.
Okay, good. Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, remember they had that man? I thought it was so wrong. He was the owner of some basketball team years ago, and he was with his girlfriend, his side chick, and he was talking about people.
Yeah, the Clippers.
And they recorded him, and she recorded him and put it out there. The reason why I thought it was wrong because he was having a private conversation with his side chick, right? And so your subconscious mind is like that recorder.
Tape recorder.
You don't know that it heard you long after the conversation is gone. You think you just had that conversation. You're just talking. Your subconscious mind is like, oh no, baby, we got you on tape.
Yeah, because subconscious mind is so powerful and so misunderstood and not known by a lot of us. And it's we were born with it. It's so foreign to a lot of people because it's a tape recorder, and the subconscious mind is what keeps your heart beating and your organs working and flowing. It does the work without you even having to think about it. That's the thing about the subconscious mind. It is like a tape recorder. It automatically does stuff and you don't even know. It actually heals your scars. I mean, it does a lot of stuff that we never knew about. This talking about hidden figures. We didn't know a black woman was, astronaut. We didn't. And for some of you all, this should be a total game changer because it's guaranteed to do your work if you know how your mind works and how to use it. I'm telling you, but you have to, like Heisey was saying, you have to, like they say, impregnate it and give it birth. In other words, and even impregnating something, this takes 9 months or 8 months, but it has to, the idea of what you're thinking has to constantly be on the tape recorder. You can't just say something one time because you can forget about it. But what you do is when you keep saying something, this could be a good habit or a bad habit. And the subconscious mind is going to say, this is what we're doing automatically. It runs the ship. Another way to look at the conscious mind as being the captain of the ship. This is you're the man, you're the woman. But the subconscious mind is the ship. In other words, it you tell it, wait, and let me tell you something. How you feel, whoo, is powerful to the subconscious. Because if you feel bad, even though everybody asks you how you doing, you saying, I'm happy, but you feel bad, you cannot trick the subconscious mind. It really acts on feelings. That's why I know this Jamaican friend of mine, 20 years, 30 years ago, he always say, Henderson, how you feel? How do you feel? No, 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 no. How do you feel?
Now my clients, now y'all see why I ask, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Not how you doing, how are you feeling? Because that's giving me a heads up on what vibration, what energy, where you are, like what space you're in.
Yeah. How you feeling? Do you feel afraid? Do you feel broke? You got to be careful, man, because you, me, all of us, we are 1,000 times more powerful than we even know we are. Most of us don't really know just how explosive and incredible creative that we are. Now, the way education is taught in the world, and especially in America, it stifles that, it limits that. It takes you away from your imagination. It tells you this is what we want you to learn, ABCs, algebra, or we want you to learn, the 50 states or whatever. This is what we want you. As a matter of fact, you impregnate that inside of your subconscious mind, and a lot of people can't think out and use their imagination anymore. You really. And then if you think about it, a lot of people that are racist, prejudiced, they subconscious mind since they were born, they were surrounded by people that said black people are awful, the worst. So that little Johnny, or little Sammy, or little Susie, she's been hearing that. And once you hear it and hear it and hear it, then you start believing it. And it will validate and put situations in front of you to validate that to be true. Isn't that something? Mm-hmm. So that's why it's like if your mother told you you're no good, you are no good, you're nothing but a bum. Oftentimes, or your father, oftentimes a lot of people believe it and they go and they be a bum because they've been told that that's all they are. They're no good. So having this conversation right now could be a game changer for a lot of people if you really take charge and say, you can change that tape recorder. You can start putting good stuff in there. That's what's meant by change the paradigm, work on yourself. What do you say?
I love that. And as you're speaking, I want the audience to know that it takes work. So you speak it until you see it, but you don't speak it and just wait to see it. Let me say that again. You speak it until you see it. You speak it until you see it. This is what we do when we talk manifestation. You speak it until you see it, but you don't just wait until you see it, meaning you have to take some action. So as you are opening up and awakening to understanding that you get to program your subconscious mind. Joseph Murray has a beautiful book. It's titled The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Pick it up if you don't have it already. As you realize that you get to program your subconscious mind, this is not for people who are lazy. This is people who want to take action. This is people who say, okay, if I'm going to speak it until I see it, I need to take some action, because one of the main words in the law of attraction or attraction is action. So what that means is you can't just say stuff and then do the same thing that you've been doing over and over again. Because once you start to say things, once you start to program your subconscious mind consciously, you will have experiences and opportunities every rising. Before I leave the house and I do my whole routine, I am praying, setting, being intentional about me recognizing opportunities, because opportunities is what it's going to take for you to get from here to there. So as you're listening, you're like, okay, I am saying these things so that I can reprogram my subconscious mind. My conscious mind is going to make me aware of opportunities that are in alignment with what I am programming my subconscious mind with. Now, if you don't recognize those opportunities, if you feel like, nah, that ain't for me, this is why we say things like, even if you don't feel like you prepared, apply, do the work until you know what it takes to get prepared. Prepare yourself. Don't focus on where you are, focus on where you're going. If you don't recognize the opportunities, you're just going to be saying, well, I'm saying it, I'm saying it, I'm saying it, and nothing's happened. That is because you must take action. As Anna Dupree says, you have to act as if. And let me tell you, in the world where we want to keep it real, I talked about this in my show, first of the year, I believe, talked about creating a new identity. So I didn't say, hey, this is metaphysics, but it's metaphysics. It is this kind of stuff that we're talking about. So I get on here and I break it down and simplify it. When I tell you that you got to create a new identity, Anna Dupree is actually absolutely correct. You got to act as if. You have to be able to say, this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be, and I'm going to take the actions of a person who has these things. I'm going to take the actions of, I'm going to read the books, I'm going to do the activities, I'm going to do these behaviors because I am telling my subconscious mind who I am. I'm telling my subconscious mind who the things that I want to be. I'm telling my subconscious mind where I'm going to be. However, many people get caught up in what's in front of them, the conscious mind.
And listening to your daughter, what's so fascinating and so interesting about this? This is all internal. You don't need
nobody
else. You don't even need permission. You don't have to have no money. They don't care about this law, this truth. You can't blame nobody else.
No.
It's all you. You are the king and the queen, because all of the thoughts are internal. They're not out. You can't say, hey, teacher, I'm doing it. Or hey, mom or daddy or husband, I am thinking this. No.
Because the conscious mind will say, as you say, you don't need anybody. It is all you, right? The conscious mind will look at what's in front of you.
Yes.
And say, well, I am going to need somebody to help me get to the next level.
No.
I am going to need somebody to help grow my business. I am going to need some. Hey, you're getting beside yourself. The subconscious mind, when you tell it what you want, where you want to go, you recognize the opportunities and you act as if, you will start to realize consciously what you saw in front of you that looked as a deficiency. You ain't even thinking about that no more.
That's why the creator of the heavens and the universe,
man,
put it where you can't blame someone else for how you think or feel, because you and your conscious and your subconscious are in this together. And everything starts there, not because they discriminated against you. See, the subconscious mind that we have just knocks the doors off discrimination. It cannot be stopped. So if you build a relationship, but you got to believe now what we're talking about. You got to believe your power, because a lot of people have power and they don't believe they have power. It's reminds me of the story of Peter Pan. Peter Pan could fly, but he didn't believe he could fly. He could not fly until he stopped believing he could fly. So much is within us, but we have to believe. Even the story of Jesus says, you guys worshiping me, Jesus, but you all can do what I do and even greater. If y'all knew who your father was and knew who you are. But most people like to look on the outside. So what we're talking about is a game changer to some of you all. And you work on yourself, but you have to have a relationship with yourself. I'm telling you. And it is the conscious mind, which you see. And the conscious mind really is a slave, could be a slave to the five senses. So you got to watch that. But then what you say and what you think and what you believe, all of what you want and what you want to do is carried out through this part of you that's called the subconscious mind. And to just give you a graphic so you can understand, each and every one of us was born with a genie to go and do. And whatever we say and how we say it and what we believe, whether we're conscious or unconscious, the genie will bring the situation to fruition. It really will. That's why if you're saying, listen, I'm never going to have no money, I'm always going to be broke, you don't have to do nothing. Something that you might not understand, the genie is going to make sure that whatever you do is going to fail so you could be broke, because that's what you said, that's what you believe. It really is this simple, but it's hard work. And you have to be conscious and you got to believe it. Hey, listen, if you don't have nothing, and you're trying to figure out something, you're trying to scratch off and win the lotto, this is the best lottery that you can get involved
The
with.
best one, baby. You can bet on yourself.
That's right.
This a $1 billion ticket.
That's right. Bet on yourself and then start trying to say, let me figure out myself.
Let me tell you that one of the hardest things to do though is to change your behaviors, to change your everyday activities. Because if you think about it, you're like, dang, I'm trying to pick up what y'all putting down. This sounds like a lot of mental work. Yes, it is a lot of mental work. You're gonna have to let go of the old in order to embrace the new. It's a lot of mental work. Last night I was talking to my brother and he said, oh, I'm about to watch the news. And I said, the news?
What good can come from that?
The news. And I said, I to myself, I said, I know I don't I thought everybody I know knew not to watch the news. So I'm gonna say it here again. And I asked him, I said, ask yourself when you watch the news and you hear all the news that they're reporting, is it empowering you? Is it inspiring you? Is it uplifting you? Or is it suppressing you?
Right.
Is it
Making you
suppressing you? Is it
fearful.
making you fearful? Is it making you sad? Is it making you, oh my God, I can't believe that. Did you see that? So when you watch, you can answer that question for yourself. Should I be watching this? Should I be going around these people? Should I be reading this book? Should I be listening to this movie? That's the hardest part. So what we're telling you, you're like, oh my God, they just gave me $1 billion ticket. We did, but now you got to change your behaviors. Now you got to say to yourself, I know in routine, it's a part of my routine, every rising and every resting for me to watch the news. I know it's a part of my routine to have a glass of wine every night before I go to go to rest. But I got to change because I want to be able to access my subconscious mind and start reprogramming my subconscious mind, because this work is not a difficult work. It's an intentional work. So things like that, when we talk to you about what are you put, you can really start saying, hey, go back and watch my episode, it creating a new identity. It's the first episode of 2022. And when you determine who you're going to be and who you are and what identity you're creating, ask yourself, would this person be watching this? Would this person be engaging in this behavior? How does this person behave? What did they do? What are their habits? What are their routines? What are their rituals? You want Elon Musk money? What do you think Elon Musk is doing? What is his daily routine? What is his daily ritual? So you have to be able to break that down, because if not, then you're going to listen to this and say, okay, I understand the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. And why they didn't teach us this? And child, you're going to go back to your regular routine.
And let me tell you something. You mentioned Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, all of those rich, Warren Buffett. They are in tune with their subconscious mind.
1,000%. It's programmed. It's the
They-
best game you could play.
They don't. They know that what we're taught for normal people is junk, and it keeps you in turmoil and confusion. You can't expand.
Mm-mm.
You're predictable. But God didn't make us to just be not to expand and be stagnated. God made us to explore, to grow, to change. Every new invention, everything that we have today, even from cordless cell phones, that wasn't conventional thinking. Even electric cars, that's not conventional thinking. That's not normal. That's thinking outside the box. So when you tap into your subconscious mind and imagination, you don't stop because something is not done or you're not there. You believe that you can be all that you want to be. Now you might not see it then, but if you hold that thought followed by action, not one time, it has to become a habit repetitiously. See, the way the subconscious mind works is, I give you a perfect example. All of a sudden you don't work out, you don't do any exercise. And today you say, okay, I'm going to exercise. And you go and you exercise and you work out, and tomorrow you're sore. Then your conscious mind may say, okay, I'm not going anymore. Your subconscious mind is not going to really help you because that was just one day.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go out and you work out 10 times, 20 times, and you keep doing that, now your subconscious mind says, oh, this is what we're doing. This is a part of our paradigm, working out. So then your subconscious mind will make sure or tell you or get so you can work out. It becomes habit forming. That's why you have to continue to do things repetitiously, because what you're doing is you are redesigning, reprogramming your subconscious mind. You know, all of us is just a sum total of what we think and how we behave and our actions. all of that comes from your subconscious mind. The conscious mind, most of us, think about it, is running on automation. We're on robot. We do stuff. We eat, we brush our teeth, we get up, we go to the bathroom, even our systems, all that stuff is like, just like our heart beating and our blood flowing, all that stuff is like automated. We're not really saying, okay, do this. We're doing it. And some of the stuff, it's just habit, we go eat the same stuff because that's what we have been programmed to do with ourselves. So if you are programmed and you keep telling yourself that you're lesser, or you're never going to be, or you can't be, then you just telling your subconscious mind you maxed out. They ain't no more brains for you.
You telling that tape recorder, listen, record this, and play it back.
That's right.
And just play it back,
Nothing
play
new.
it back. Just keep playing this thing on loop. And I'm wondering why I'm not progressing in the way that I want to progress. Things aren't changing, child. Your words, your actions, your behaviors, your words, your actions, your behaviors, your habits, they must change. And one of the most challenging things for people to do is really to use their imagination, really to visualize and act as if, because you have gotten so stuck and bogged down with what it is. This is reality. Reality is an illusion.
Right.
It's an illusion. So once you open your mind up and say, you know what, this feel a little awkward. Me acting as if and feeling like and speaking as if and doing scripting and doing all these things, it feels a little awkward, but I'm gonna try it because I never did it before. And I tell people all the time, when you try something and it feels awkward, keep doing it, because that means it's going to give you a different outcome. The things that you have already consistently been doing, you're used to that. It doesn't bother you. You don't feel the difference. It's like you're on autopilot. When you get ready to change your life and reprogram your subconscious mind, you're going to have to feel awkward. Yes, it feels awkward for you to be talking about you a multimillionaire and you living in somebody's basement right now. I know it feels awkward. It feels awkward for you. It feels awkward. However, you can still do it. And we are evident. That's one of the things like this. Y'all see me here in deep contemplation, because this is one of the things, like, I look on social media, I have conversations with people, and this is just one of those topics that I'm like, yo, if we really knew how powerful we are, if we really knew, everything else is just fluff. If you really, really knew how powerful you are, you could change. You wouldn't be paying another dollar or a dime trying to say, hey, how can you would really change your life? But it takes work, and it takes consistent work, and it takes a community, because you're talking about acting as if, and you're not watching TV no more, and your homies and friends like, what are you talking about? You're not watching TV. We watch this show every Wednesday night. Well, I'm not watching it no more.
And then, as you say, Heisey, if if each and every one of us start getting into ourselves, we really don't have time to get into anybody else, because you're so shocked and amazed at what you can do and what you're capable of doing.
It's mind blowing.
It really is mind blowing. Then you'll start appreciate, the creator. That said, oh my God, I did not know that I am this good. Most people, I'm telling you, all of us are better, way better than we can imagine that we are. And most people say, hey, I ain't nothing. I ain't come for nothing. I don't have this. I ain't getting no inheritance. This is what I am. This is the cards that I've been dealt. I just got to play this hand. No. If you find anyone that thinks like that and says that, I'll show you someone who do not know nothing, do not know themselves.
So, yeah, I was gonna say they don't know themselves.
They don't know themselves at all, man. Yeah. You're like a jet fighter plane, and you're just riding slower than a bicycle on skates, but you're so powerful. Now, why do we feel like this, or why we don't know this? Why do you think that it's by accident? No,
it's by design.
It's by design. That's Absolutely. Why the people that do know it, they take our stuff. They have us work for them and take our stuff, and now we're like mental slaves.
I was gonna say, it's so simple you skip it. It's so simple that folks skip it. Nah, that's too simple. I'm gonna skip that. Nah, I know they saying do this. I know they saying meditate. I know they saying eliminate this and that, but it can't really be that simple. It's so simple that people skip it. And you're right, Mr. Henderson. It is literally intentionally by design, because guess what? If not, who gonna do the work? If
when you say who gonna do the work, what do you mean?
The work of the world. Who? If the news didn't suppress you, if the government, the politicians didn't suppress you, if they did not promote all this fear and all this stuff to keep you suppressed, who's gonna do the regular work and the jobs and the stuff? Who gonna do that? Could you imagine if everybody was living in their divine birthright of wealth
and their purpose
and opulence, and just moving and shaking and everything. And I ain't talking about the material stuff because y'all get on my nerves too. But we'll talk about that a different day. I'm not talking about that. And there's nothing wrong with luxury. I love luxury. However, if you really know who you are and you are operating at the level that you are operating, would you want to be operating at a lower level? No, you will be constantly seeking. You will be constantly reading. You will constantly be on a quest to obtain more. I've been thinking this last week and the week before, something that has just been resonating through my mind is, child, I love my bed, my books, my babies, and the beach. Like, give me them. My bed, my books, my babies, and the beach. All the rest of this, wait, because I want to continue to learn and grow. And if you get to that point, once you take a little sip of it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I did not know how powerful I am. And then you will start to do what we say. Then you're going to unplug from the matrix. Then you're going to disconnect from the matrix. You're not going to be worrying about who's doing this. You're not going to be flashing all your stuff on social media. That's why that grinds my gears, because I feel like you're doing people a disservice by distracting them with things when what they really need is this stuff that we're talking about.
You know, the funny thing about it is, I see, you know, what we're talking about is so powerful. Mm-hmm. It's game changing. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely just marvelous and wonderful. Mm-hmm. And it's a gift from the Creator. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to leave your house. Mm-hmm. You don't have to pay. It doesn't cost you one dime. Mm-hmm. You won't have no student loans with this. This course that we're talking about, it's within you. You don't have to pass no tests. You don't have to pay no money. There won't be no student loans. You don't need nobody else to do it with you, because the requirements is for you to go within and discover and do it yourself. Now, what excuse can you have if you're told that the greatest gift, unlimited potential, you already have
within you?
Within you.
It is you.
All you have to do is go toward it, analyze it, research it, and study it. I remember reading an ancient book, and they asked Jesus in his writings, his old writing books too. It said, Jesus, what do you have? What do you think that we should study? And he said, the story goes, he said, study yourself.
And study it again.
And then somebody said, so after I study myself, Master, what else should I study?
Study yourself again.
Study yourself again.
That's right.
He said, study yourself, because if you study yourself to know how your mind thinks, you come across fear. It will help you deal with anxiety, because you have to deal with truth. Why are you? There's a lot of questions within you. And you, like I said, it don't cost a dime. All you got to do is be interested. Mm-hmm. Now, if you ain't interested in you, oh my goodness. If anything you should be interested in is you.
And let me tell you, it's going to be a lonely road.
Well, it has to, because no one can do and have a relationship with you better or more than you. Mm-hmm. It's you. You okay, you got a husband, you got a wife. Okay, y'all could talk about this, but your subconscious mind is assigned to you, and each and every one of us, because we all have different fingerprints, we created differently, we all have a different purpose, so we all have it within us. So you have to have a conversation, but you have to know that there are two. And like I said, just to give you a visual, there's a genie inside of you that you command.
Yes, I love that.
There's a genie inside of you that you command. If you start believing, that is the first sign of wisdom, to believe that you are that you do have. Because think about it. If those of y'all who do believe there is a God, a just God won't just give a genie to one person. Mm-mm. A just God say, I'm going to give it to you all. Like I have 5 children. I love all 5 children, because I am the father. I love all 5 of my children, because they all came from me. Yes, they all different.
I was gonna say, you sure about that?
They all different.
Came from you?
They are. So you say, what? Am I sure?
You know, I tease you. I might be the milkman. But okay, go back to your point.
Anyway, they all come from me. They're all different. If I need one of them to pick me up from the airport, I know out of the five who to call. I do know. So they're all different. None of us are the same. We're all different. But I'm telling you, this is a game changer that we're talking about. There is no excuse. You can't blame nobody because it's you. It's inside of you. And you have to understand how your subconscious mind works. And for years, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, as long as you've been alive, you've never had any training on yourself. They train us for everything. Pledge allegiance. They Star Spangled Banner. They sports, math, science, how to dissect the frog, who was Christopher Columbus, what about the Eskimos, everything but you.
Where's the tambourine? This is now's the time when you pass off. Do they still have gold offering plates in church?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Right, I mean.
You can ask the audience.
I felt like we should have passed the gold offering plate. That's old school. Y'all still have them in church? Okay, so before we go, I wanted to share that it's a lonely road, but you're not alone. And I want to share that because lots of times when you learn new stuff, and even when you don't learn new stuff, you feel like you need a buddy. You need a partner. It's hard. I need somebody to do this with me. I need a buddy. I need an accountability partner. It is a lonely road. I'm not going to skip over that. It is a lonely road, especially when you are first getting started. However, you are never alone. What do I mean by that? Everybody sees things differently. We're all at different places in their journey. So if you're listening to today's episode and you're like, wow, this is really resonating with me. I am picking up what y'all putting down. I'm going to apply this. Do it. Don't beg nobody to get on the boat.
Right.
No, it didn't beg. He said, I'm building this boat. You're going to get on this ark or not. Right. We're going to be good. Right? Because you can't see what I see coming. However, this is what I'm going to do. And so I must drill that, tape it to your forehead. It is a lonely road. Focus on you. Now, when somebody comes up to you and they ask and they want, hey, how you doing? Then of course you tell them, you share the information. You don't hoard the information. You go forth because that is a part of your responsibility, right? It's like once you have acquired access, you don't deny anybody the access. It reminds me, let me give you an example. Sharia, shout out to my girl Sharia. She just celebrated her birthday yesterday. We had an entire weekend last weekend together.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy belated birthday. We had a fantastic weekend. And on Sunday, we went to eat. And the waitress was not really what I was used to. It's not up to par, right? Mm-hmm. So Sharia said, are you going to talk to her? Maybe we should talk. Maybe we should talk to her. Maybe we should, pull her aside and stuff. Because she looked like us. She's our color. And I said, no. Because she got different eyes. And if I talk to her, we pull her aside and talk to her and say, hey, girl, this is what you could do to improve. She has different eyes and she could very well be offended. It reminds me of when Monique, you saw Monique was telling the young girls stop wearing their bonnets in the airport. Mm-hmm. And they were like, what did you talk about, lady? We like our bonnets. Ain't nobody told us not to wear our bonnets. What are you talking about? So when you go and you attempt to wake somebody from a slumber and they're not quite yet ready to get up, they always gonna be startled. When you wake somebody up, when you come and shake my children, don't wake me up. If you wake me up, no matter what you have to tell me, now I am focusing on the fact that I am startled, as other than the fact that you want to tell me something. So when you have this information and you want to tell everybody, don't wake them up. Do not startle them. Now, if they wake up and say, hey, I see y'all in this other room. What are y'all doing in here? Oh, we baking cookies. We bake some for you. Let me show you the recipe to bake these cookies. They will well receive that. But if you wake me up to say, do you want some cookies? Even though cookies are my favorite, I'm going to say, why are you waking me up? You understand? So you have to think about that as you go on your journey, because if you start this journey of really tapping into your potential and the mindset and metaphysics and programming and reprogramming and learning and unlearning, you're going to be very excited. You're going to feel like, oh my gosh, why don't more people know this? And you're going to want to go wake somebody up.
Yeah, this is better than the lottery ticket.
It's better.
It's better than playing scratch off. It's better than going to casinos. I'm telling you. You have the lottery right inside of you. Yeah. Like Parnell says, 95% of everything is in the mind. P, you spot on, brother. You're spot on. But most people, we haven't been taught to study our mind. And like Icy was saying, there's a good book that we all have read in his office. And it's The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It's by Joseph Murphy. You go to YouTube or look it up or go to Audible and get it. But it is a beginning for you because he simplifies it so you can actually get a visual on how you yourself and how your mind works.
Yeah.
It really, and it's like I said, if I was king, it'd be a requirement in order for you to be in my kingdom. I guess
the power of your subconscious mind.
The power of your subconscious mind.
And it's a book of reference. Every time I read that book, I read it a little bit different. It's like, oh, I get this point a little bit better. It's a book of reference. You keep reading and reading and reading. You may read it in 2022. You may read it again in 2023. Maybe you'll read it in October of 2022.
This is the secret that all wealthy, successful business people, especially, read. Yes. They understand this law. It is a universal law. They all know it. Now, you and him talking about it. Nobody talks about it. All the good stuff they ain't talking about. Mm-hmm. All the stuff that they want, the leftover. I call it the leftover food. But all the good stuff is always in the back room, mm-hmm. down in the cellar, mm-hmm. behind the curtains, not for the masses to understand. That's why you have to seek, ask, and knock. Mm-hmm. You have to be searching. Because when you seek, you will find. I promise you. And that's why the good book says that you have to knock. You have to ask. You have to seek. A lot of people talking about they ain't ask, seek, or knock. Why I just don't know this? Why they just don't give it to me? Because that's not the law. They don't believe that they're supposed to tap you and say, hey, let me help you. No, that's against the law. Like Icy was saying, you can't tap on somebody and say, come here, I want to show you, I'm going to make you be a better person. No, get off me. Not until a person is ready. When you are seeking, knocking, asking, you all have heard that the student, the teacher will appear
when the student is ready.
Only when the student is ready. So y'all talking about y'all want more? Now you're not. Now y'all listen to us, then that means you are. Yeah. If you are listening and you are with the Henderson Financial Group,
305-825-1444.
We hear you knocking. Knock on the door. Yeah. We're going to answer and we'll help you. Hey, Heisey, what's coming on? What's happening tonight?
Today is Wednesday. Can you believe that?
It's going fast, man.
Oh, my goodness. What's today? The 19th. We're already more than halfway through the first month of 2022.
Smoking.
Talk about them resolutions, intentions. What y'all been doing? You been doing the same thing as 2021?
Well, this boy, time has been smoking. Yeah, it's flying by.
It is. So tonight, 7 p.m., we have the Rising Solution Show with Antonio Woodbury and Tavares Jones. And then on Saturday in the AM at 8 a.m., we have the Understanding Money Show. I will slide in around 9:30-ish. And then the Understanding Money Part 2 show will come on at 10:15-ish with Mr. Robert Henderson Jr. and James T. Thomas. If you have not done so already, be sure to hit like on the Henderson Financial Group Facebook page so that you are notified of when we go live, of our education. Even if you cannot catch the live show, you can always come back and run the tape back and watch the replay. That is the Henderson Financial Group page. I am also on YouTube at Hyacinth Henderson. And also, Sharia and I released a new podcast last Friday. Ooh. It's called Sisterhood Undefined.
Oh, I like that.
Yes. And we've been getting rave reviews on the podcast.
Excellent. I like that. So, Sisterhood. Huh?
Sisterhood Undefined. So wherever you listen to podcasts, so let me just say that I know that, some folks have made a podcast, a YouTube video, and it's two separate things. A podcast is an audio only. When you put it on YouTube, it becomes a video. But the podcast is audio only. That means that we don't have a visual component as of yet. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. You can listen to the podcast. All right. Until next time, y'all stay safe and stay sane, and we'll catch you later.
Peace out. Wear your mask.
Anything else?
That's it.